and welcome to the Durty Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron, joined by Cameron. How are we, Cameron?
Oh, Cameron. I'm good, Cameron. Thanks for asking,
Cameron. Last week, we had a little discussion about some favourite games. We had 4 categories. Our first 2 categories, what were they again? They were the favourite of all time and most nostalgic favourite.
Let me check my book. You're right, though.
Yeah, those were the 2 categories we managed to make through last time, and this time we are going to be going through our
current favourite
and
our least popular favourite.
Which are interesting topics.
I like least popular favourite a lot.
Yeah, because there's so many bad good games out there.
Yeah. And there's so many games that I like that I don't think are very good. But it's one of my favourite games. Yeah. Favoritist games.
So
what one?
We'll start off with you. Your current favourite game.
So this is an interesting one, Cameron. Because it's not... Up until 3 days ago, it was Total War Warhammer 2. And then before that, it was Bannerlord. Now, I'm in that classic stage of looking for my current favorite game.
Oh.
I'm like scrolling Steam, like, what do I feel? I feel like a little bit of space. So I was looking at No Man's Sky, I was looking at Space Engineers, which I've played Space Engineers like 500 hours or something.
Yeah.
So, and then I was looking for, I wanted normal Warhammer. No, Total War. So I wanted Total War, but I didn't want it to be elves and shit.
Yeah.
But so I've got Total War Attila, which is when the Huns attacked someone. Oh, okay, that's fine. When the Huns attacked someone, I can't remember who. So that came 2015. But I wanted to play Total Warhammer Medieval.
I thought you were fancying space. Did you not go for 40k?
Welcome to what's happening. Where I'm like, I fancy something. I feel some space. I feel some realistic Warhammer. Total War, not fantasy Warhammer. Total War. And what was the other one I was fancying? I was fancying something else. But the point is, I'm in that weird stage of like, my current favorite is currently being looked for.
And
I'm like, I'm like, I'm not sure what I feel.
So that's been
but I also might have just the need to play a new game. Because I'm also looking on Steam to buy something, and I'm like, there's nothing you want to buy, but I'm looking.
Okay, so how about we define it a little bit more? So the favorite game that you have played recently?
That would be Bannerlord.
I
told a big story about Bannerlord last episode, though.
Yeah,
so
that is
Total War,
yeah.
I think, is the one.
It is the one that's...
Yeah, and it's really fucking difficult. Because it's... I don't know if you've never played... Have you ever played Total War?
No.
No, I don't think so. It's difficult. It's like... Your little dude on a mini... No, and your little dude on a... You're a little guy on an overworld map. And you can go from fucking house, the building to building, conquering. You're trying to capture land. However you do it, doing it via diplomacy or whatever. But I'm not very good at the micromanaging of the armies. Because it's not like Bannerlord where you have 200 troops, 300 troops or something like that. And then you individually hire or train archers, cavalry, infantry, and horse archers and stuff. You end up with 2 horse archers, and then you end up leveling up to the point where you have like 10 or 20. So micromanaging them is you grow with your own strategy, because like if you have infantry, you start micromanaging the infantry and maybe split them in half, so you can do some, split the fight up, finish this fight, and then so they can, or you just do the old classic F1 F3, which is just charge. So they just go, and then you see if you win. But then you start getting horses, and you start being like, oh, maybe I'll put my cavalry over here. So they come in from the side, get some archers, put them in the hill, and you start growing that way. Total War is like, here is infantry, and there's like 100. And here is more infantry, and you have like 3 of them that you're managing. And you click 1, you click 100, and you move that unit, and then you've got horses. So it's like already from the fucking get-go.
Large numbers
of people. So I find it really difficult to micromanage, where you've got... Fuck, you're doing the thing. Like, here comes the army, and they've got archers shooting you, so you want to make your cavalry go around so they can fuck up the archers. Or you'd get a giant eagle, because I'm playing as the elves, so they have eagles. So the eagles, of course, are coming, and they're over there. And then they've got my archers in the back trying to... who do I make sure they shoot? But if you take your archers and you're like, shoot them, they will run after them when they rout. So then the archers, so you're like fighting the cavalry at the back, and you come back, and your archers are halfway across the map, chasing some fucking chasing them down. They're just like, we're killing them. And then now my infantry are left without their backup archers. So I'm like, fuck. So you gotta come back, and they're real slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's very fucking. So I'm finding the micromanaging very difficult, but it's a great game. Great game.
That's the thing. I always struggle getting into RTSs. I think the only 2 RTSs that really properly grabbed me was Command and Conquer Red Alert 3.
I know Command and Conquer. I remember the cover.
I remember playing Red Alert 3 with like friends on Xbox Live when I was younger. And
I don't remember fucking what the game is.
It's just an RTS as far as I remember. I only got into it playing the multiplayer. I didn't bother with any of the single player stuff, so I was constantly getting whipped by all my friends. Like, I was just wanting to play a game with the people that I wanted to play with. Halo Wars I really liked when I was younger.
Oh, I remember Halo Wars.
But I've always found that I
never
prefer
played
like turn-based strategies, so like your XComs, your
not real time,
Civ Rev, all that kind of stuff. But I'm wanting to get into my RTS a wee bit more now that I've got myself a PC.
Yeah, big boy.
So
he's a big boy now.
Yeah, so looking into my current favourite games, I'm looking a wee bit further back, because obviously the last game that I played through to completion would be, I think, God of War Ragnarok was the last game that I played through start to finish.
I played that start to finish too, but
that was a phenomenal story.
It was very good.
So?
Did I like the gameplay?
It was more of the same.
It was more of the same, but did I like it? I didn't not like it.
Yeah, but you turned it down because you wanted to just play the...
Well, it was with Alana. I was
Yeah,
playing it with Alana, so she was like, I don't want you sitting on the fucking...
this boss fight over.
Not even the boss fights, because you put it on really hard. The fucking mobs are hard. So I was like, I like that, but she doesn't.
Yeah, of course, and she's wanting to watch it.
So I was torn between like...
good middle ground.
Oops. So I was torn between, is this boring, or is this really easy?
But I remember you saying that canonically it kind of fit.
It did. I just fucked everyone up.
Fucking everybody.
I fucked everyone up. I'm the God of War, and I'm struggling with this fucking Draugr.
Yeah.
No, I walked in and killed one hit.
Because I played God of War, the first one that came out, and I remember, like, I watched that. I saw the IGN article, and it was the best way to play God of War is the hardest difficulty without any HUD. And I was like, sick, I'm gonna do it. And this is when I was like really making all my games too difficult for me.
I still do that.
I spent hours in the first fight. Like I'd not learned anything. Like every single fight took me 10, 20, 30 days.
Yeah, because when I completed the game, I did that. Yeah. And I still got stuck on like the first mini boss in the basement. No, in the like downstairs, the bit, it's like the...
When it drops you down, you got like, the big guys to fight.
Yeah, and it's like a cavern. There's like really close walls on the sides, and then what the fuck is that called? It's like a corridor in, or like a corridor in a mountain.
Yeah,
that's why my D&D description is. But yeah, it's like a really closed corridor, and then there's a dude in front of you. So there's no like running away. Well, there's only running away. There's no like running around and stuff.
Yeah,
and then one hit from him killed me.
Yeah.
Break. Or keep talking.
Costume change.
Yes. Yep. Summer has come to Scotland. Global warming's made it like fucking France. Okay.
But yeah, so that put me off playing the original God of War, and I remember being like, I just don't like it, even though I was making it overly hard for myself.
Yeah.
And then when God of War Ragnarok was en route, I was like, I'll just play it through on normal. I'll just have a wee bit of fun and actually just enjoy the story. And I remember really enjoying it.
It's really good.
Like, it's really good.
They did some good stuff.
They did some great stuff with it. But I am in love with my roguelikes and my deck builders. Those are my go-to, my bread and butter when it comes to gameplay at the moment.
Normal game.
So I found one on Steam at the moment. It's only in its prologue. So like the demo. It's a demo.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out on the 27th, but it's called Shogun Showdown, I believe. And it's a really, really satisfying
I've heard of it.
I think I remember showing you like ages ago, like just a wee like snippet of it. But it's a 2D game, right? And it's turn-based.
Right.
So guys spawn in, and you can move left and right, spin, or stay still.
Spin.
So like depending on what direction you're facing, your attacks will go off in different. Like so, if you've got a bow and arrow.
Oh, like turn.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
spin
turn.
is like spin is.
Well, yeah.
I was like, I thought you were
180 to each side.
what's it called? Crash Bandicoot.
So Crash Bandicoot Twizzle is what we used to call it.
That sounds like a sweetie. A twizzle. I like a twizzle, please.
Yeah, no. Me and my sisters used to be like, twizzle that guy. You didn't twizzle fast enough. Come on, Cameron.
Right, so.
But so this one is immediately grabbed me because Shogun Showdown. And it's got turn down timers. So like you've got two. Like to start off with, you've got two attacks. You've got a melee attack that'll attack on either side of you, and you've got an arrow. Both of them they do 2 damage, but they've got different cooldown timers. So you load them up into your like attack.
What's happening
process.
next? Okay.
Yeah. So you've got 3 things that you can load up, and then when you press the spacebar button, you like just unleash your volley of attacks.
Okay.
So, but you've also putting it into the slot ticks down the timer. So like the enemies will start loading up their attacks or moving closer towards you to get into the damage range, and you've got a move where you can like swap places with them. So quite satisfyingly, you can like load up a tight like thing. So this guy is about to shoot an arrow. The guy behind you is about to charge. You can
sick.
So you can swap
you
places.
can switch and
the guy
shoot.
Charges into him and then gets hit. Get him
shot.
Arrow.
Yeah.
So it's really satisfying to do little bits.
Like Dishonored did that, right?
Yeah. And then you like pick up different tiles as you go, and it'll be like a grappling hook that'll like grab on someone, pull them closer towards you, and then like a shadow dash where you'll just like damage them, but like end up on the other side of them.
Cool. Oh, cool.
So like you can like load up like I'm wanting to grappling hook shadow dash into double side attacks. So like the guy is like 2 spaces in front of me and there's no space in between him and the enemy behind him. So I'll grappling hook him closer towards me. I'll then shadow dash on the other side of him and then hit both of them on either side and take them both out in the same like.
Very cool.
It's just so satisfying.
It's just a cool game.
Hard to get hang of though. Like
I
died so many times to start off with. I remember watching someone play it on YouTube. I think it was Alexa. And
what? Oh no,
the
not Amazon.
No, not Alexa. And they were just like, this game's easy. And I was like, that game looks so easy. And then I put it on. And I was like,
it's not easy.
So there's that one, and I've just re-downloaded Alina of the Arena. I don't know if you remember that one.
Vaguely.
That's a deck builder / like arena turn-based strategy kind of style game, which is just really satisfying because enemies like the crowd can chuck in like rocks and like weapons and stuff like that, so you can like, move over to the rock, launch the rock at someone, build up your combo to do more damage.
Oh, okay, cool. There's a game that's like that. It's like Gladiator or something. It's made by one dude. You may have seen it. It's cool. But it's not my favorite game. Not current favorite game.
Yeah, and I'm always obviously continuously playing For Honor.
Yeah. Was that a current favorite?
No, I'd say that's just a continuous game. Like, just
that's a continuous game. Well, because I think a lot of my current favorites, are multiplayer games. So Chivalry 2, which we're playing with you and Alana.
Yeah.
And Age of Empires, which we're playing. But I don't want to play the game and get better at it, so that when we play together, we're still roughly the same level.
Yeah.
So like I really want to play.
We're training together to do it.
Yeah. So I really want to play Chivalry 2.
So we're going to be starting up a series where me and Cameron are going to be attempting Chivalry 2. No, sorry, not Chivalry 2. Age of Empires 2. Yeah. And we're going to be putting them on the enemies on the hardest difficulty and put them all on our team against us and see if we can win.
And see if we can win. Find a way to win.
It is not.
So yeah, I don't want to practice.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking now you say that out loud. I'm like, maybe one of us should practice. So that we can at least have a fighting check. Because when we get to the hard difficulty,
that's the thing. What we're doing right now is practice. We're putting them on normal currently and having them fight
working
each
our
other.
way up. Yeah.
Because remember the first one we did, we put them on the hardest difficulty and had them fight each other.
It still didn't work. Yeah.
And we got destroyed.
They're so fast developing.
Yeah. But I've heard that I've seen people do like lists and whatnot online where it's like the AI will cheat. There's like spawn resources next to them so that they or like have more resources than they are capable of farming and stuff like that on the higher difficulties just to
fuck with you.
Make it harder.
Damn.
Yeah.
Still, I don't mind.
Yeah,
I just like winning a thing that's hard. Yeah.
Win the thing that's hard. We'll also do Urban Raid at
War
some
of
point.
Attrition. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, again? You mean?
Yeah. But we've never recorded it, so let's get that.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of my current favorite games are multiplayer games that I can't play with people. Like, one of mine is always Deep Rock Galactic. Yeah. But I've got no one to fuck with. But I do now.
Yeah, we do. We got a team.
That should be a list.
We'll do a squad.
Nope, you are, Cameron.
Yeah,
Bob and Alana. At least 4 of us.
Yeah.
Because that game is just always on the list of, like, I want to play this fucking game.
Yeah.
Like that, you want the aesthetic of it. The Hunt Showdown's another one.
I want to do
where
it. That I think that should be our next Protect the Queen. Because obviously we're doing Protect the Queen and Chivalry.
I think we can do trios.
Yeah, no, it's only trios. Trios is the max. You can't do quads.
Yeah.
Can't do quads, but that should be our next Protect the Queen.
Yeah. Get through, get the thing, get out without dying.
A funny statistic that I saw was that 60% of Hunt the Showdown players haven't killed another player.
Yeah, no, it's like get your game up, dude. I've killed at least 2.
I think I've killed 1. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played that game. But as far as I remember, that was poorly optimized to start off with. Supposedly now it runs so much smoother in general.
Oh yeah. It's a beautiful.
I'd love to do Tarkov at some point. That could be really fun.
I fucking really want to play Tarkov. It's so scary. It's so hard. Well, it's a great. It's pain described as pain, and I love it. Which is also For Honor. if you put that up there, which would be a nice fucking segue.
Yeah.
To my least favorite game.
No, your
the least popular favorite game.
I
think it's For Honor.
Is it For Honor?
I think it's For Honor. Obviously, I've got a bunch of this because I still misunderstood the assignment. But it's For Honor.
Having multiple is better.
For Honor. Yeah, I'm like, is it shit? I'm like, it's very close.
It's very close.
And I think it's mixed on Steam.
Yeah.
So that means I think it's a 60%.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
I don't think it technically counts by definition. It doesn't count. More people like it than don't like it.
Yeah, as well as it's got a continuous player base. But but you're right.
But even most of the player base.
Most of the player base. Every time that a new update comes out, is this the worst update to ever come out? I think it's the worst update. Yeah.
Yes. Remember Griffin? Fuck him. Oh. Remember War Mummy? Fuck
I remember
her.
when the Hitakiri was just near impossible. But that's that was before the core combat update, and parrying in general was a wee bit more tough.
Oh.
I remember just getting constantly caught out by his overcharge and be like, "Damn you!" Because he could play it to a certain level.
Yeah, I think it's one of the least popular favorite games because I do like it, but it does feel like. But I think a lot of games feel like that. There's a certain thing with multiplayer games where you don't know, you can't just be consistently good at it.
Yeah.
Because, people timing being unlucky.
Yeah.
Like things like that pop up.
Not being in the right frame of mind, not having warmed up.
All that stuff comes in. So you're playing this game and then, but I don't know if it is me being salty because I died to 3 people, or if the game fucks up and it's like, no, I can dodge in a corner. No, I can't dodge in a corner, but they can dodge in a corner. So when I hit them in a corner, they get out of it. But when I'm in a corner, I always get hit. Like what?
But that got adjusted in the most recent update. I don't think. Have you played since that?
No, I've not played in months.
Because now it's no longer because it used to be momentum based. So like when you did your dodge, if you dodged into a wall, they were still smacking you. Now it's if you dodge, which is just great. Absolutely,
that is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a grab sometimes where I'll be like mid revenge, someone would just
what?
grab me, and I'm like, how did you fucking do that? But they got the second where I
yeah.
But then there's the discussion of maybe they're really good at ganking.
Yeah, because some people are just like,
because you can't tell how good someone is at. Because that was the first game I think I got really competitive in. Is it? I don't know if that's true. I think so. I think because it is always competitive.
Yeah.
So I've never not played it competitively. So I think it would be. But like at the beginning, I'd assume people were getting lucky on some things. Where I'd like do a move and feint it and go grab them and they hit me with light attack. And I was like, which is the counter. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that was lucky. And then it kept happening. And then now I do it to people. And I'm like, I understand. There is a skill. There is at least a skill ceiling.
Yeah.
It just feels like you can still get got. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the thing. It's probably one of the sweatiest games that I've been into. Because I'm trying to get into other sweaty games like Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah. And I just get so unbelievably paranoid because I'm like, I'm not good at this game yet. The player's going to kick me because I've seen it happen. They'll vote to kick someone for doing the stupidest thing.
Hunt Showdown. I think apparently that. Well, it might be different now, but
that's the kind of game that I wouldn't play with randoms.
Yeah.
I'd either go in for a solo or take teammates.
I don't think there is a solo though. That's the point. The problem.
No. I think there's don't party up. I think that's an option. That's an option.
No, there is, but you'll still fight.
Yeah, I'll still fight teams. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
and that's good training.
Yeah. Well, it's like Apex, isn't it?
It's like when we used to go into quads, just the duos, just the two of us in
I
quads.
remember trying to get better at that game because that's another game that I enjoyed, but I think most people hate. Even though
I think that's too popular to be able to.
It's not. Yeah. Sports is not popular, not most hated.
Yeah.
Because people don't like that game. And people who play that game don't like that game.
Yeah.
Everyone plays the game.
I think you can't really judge a multiplayer game on whether the fan base like it or not. Because everyone who's ever played a multiplayer game has either said they hate it or they love it at equal opportunities.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times they're like, "For on top," and then I love this game. Like when you get into the rhythm and you like.
I like killing people.
Yeah.
But I'm still convinced it's shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it's for me, it's the closest thing to a good fighting multiplayer group game.
No, it is.
Apart from maybe Chivalry 2, but that's more fun because it's like big war scenario and it doesn't matter if you die because you're getting hit by 20 people at once.
Yeah, you get whacked by a ballista out of nowhere. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you are going to do it. Whereas For Honor, it's like a carrot on a stick, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're like, being good is there. I'm right there. And then you're always a very elusive character.
And then you find that one guy that just like wipes the floor with you.
With everyone, yeah. So anyway.
And then there's like different matchups between different characters as well. Like I still hate the JJ and the Kensei.
Yeah, Kensei I got better at, but JJ I fucking hate.
Yeah.
But I also have Conan
Exiles?
Age of Exiles, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that game's very good. And I really like it. Especially with I like the vibe. I like being fucking muscly as shit and climbing things with my fingertips. And I like Conan. I like the world of Conan, the whole like sword and sorcery, right? It's not Dungeons and Dragons, fantasy, Lord of the Rings. Yeah. It's like magic is pretty rare and it's pretty dangerous to those people who are magical. Most people just kick about with swords. But there is monsters, like massive fucking spiders and fucking big trolls and all that shit. And the game's got such a vibe. It's got really good music. It's got that sand desert vibe to it. And there's slaves, and you're a slave in this fucking exile land, and you get to build a house. And you capture slaves or thralls or unpaid workers. And you get to put them on their fucking wheel of pain, crack them, make them your mate, first mate. You get to get horses. It's like the classic survival build up your settlement thing, but there is also PvP. But it's server based, so like if that server goes, you lose all your progress, or if you server hop, you lose your progress. And the combat's okay. It's not great. It's cool blowing people up into red mist because you get a big hammer and you smack them. But it's like it's kind of janky.
It's quite MMO kind of
MMO-y as well, where you can if you move too far out of an arena, there's no skill involved, you just get killed. The dungeons are pretty cool. But like I compared it to Ark because it's very similar to Ark in the way it's done. Like you get 500 fucking branches to make a box. You know what I mean? Not blogs
excessive
to make a box.
Amounts of...
I'm like, whoever designed this has never made a box. You need 1/3 of a tree, not 500. So it's like a little bit off. Ark's the same way, but Ark has roaming. I think it does anyway. It's like roaming mobs. Like you won't just come across the same mob in the same area
every time.
Time. You'll just be hanging out, and then a fucking
T-Rex.
raptor will come out of nowhere, and it gives the world much more of a I'm surviving in the world feeling. Yeah. Because when you know where things are in Conan, it doesn't feel like you're surviving. Yeah. Because you're just avoiding the bad things. Like it's really easy. But in Ark, it's like if you don't have the armor and the spear and a thing that you're like, I am vulnerable. The big fucking crocodile could come out of nowhere. The big eagle could come out of nowhere. The raptors could come out. Like you don't know when you're gonna get
hiding with. Everywhere.
Yeah, there's unseen threats everywhere, and you don't because it's the poise boys is what I call them, but they're the ones that spit poison.
Boys,
yeah. Whatever they're called.
I can't
dinosaurs?
Dilophosaurus?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I love dinosaurs, and I'm pretty sure that's not. Okay. I miss my dinosaur knowledge.
Yeah, but those fuckers. The game is huge, by the way. It's almost like 200 gigabytes.
The sequel's coming out soon, isn't it?
I don't know.
I
don't know what's happening with that. And it had a terrible fucking trailer. Do you remember?
Yeah, with Vin Diesel on the back of the
T-Rex. The most stilted combat I've ever seen. It was like, whack, it looked really fucking bad. Especially compared to all these good trailers. Anyway, the point is, when you compare Ark to Conan, Ark is also shit. So, I think it's just the genre's a bit cursed. Yeah. It's just all a bit suck. But, I keep wanting to go back to Conan. Yeah. That's the
draw.
Yeah, I love the world of Conan. So being able to play in that world is just such a draw. And being a big muscly dude that just climbs mountains by stabbing his fingertips into them. Because I'm so super strong and muscly and manly. So, and making a sword out of stone is like, it speaks to me. It's a great game.
For me,
although it's not.
In terms of least popular kind of games, I've always loved like the wrestling games, like SmackDown versus Raw.
06 was the one I think I remember really liking.
I think you had that in the PSP. Yep. And because you gave the Big Show the steel move, and made him do the 619 to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
I remember you showed me that, and I was like completely blown away. It's so satisfying.
Bigger model.
But one of my favorite ones, which I didn't realize people didn't like, is WWE All Stars.
I'm just grabbing my phone. But yes, I remember that game. The super over the top crazy boy.
Yeah.
Because I really want to know what. Yes.
Because it was the over the top like mental moves where you bounce them off the floor and they go up into the air for you to continue your combos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember watching like looking through YouTube, and I just found this one where it was like, oh, we play the worst wrestling games ever.
WWE was one.
I was like, why? This game was amazing. I really enjoyed it. But I remember there was some like bad online connection stuff, like when they released R-Truth, right? So he had a combo where like you kicked twice.
Who's R-Truth?
R-Truth is
is that a wrestler?
Yeah, he's one of the wrestlers.
Cool.
He had like the dreadlocks, and he used to sing when he came to the stage, and then then he went crazy. And
I don't know if people hate it. It looks like the rankings are okay.
I know.
The reviews, 7 out of 10 from IGN, 7 out of 10 from GameSpot.
Oh yeah, no, but that's when it was released, and then like
also they suck. IGN and all that, they suck at reviewing.
Yeah,
I think they're terrible.
That'll be something we need to do at a later day. But
it's just yeah, we should.
But and when you played R-Truth, you could do like kick the leg, and then this like grab that was a drop toe hold. But you could do it anywhere in the ring, and you'd teleport to the closest person and do it to them. So people would just like in online matches, they would get out of the ring and just go and then teleport to you in the ring and start doing a combo on you.
Nice.
So
okay.
there's
it wasn't for online.
Yeah, but I think you could do that like offline as well. Like he was just a broken character, and obviously it wasn't getting much.
Yeah, but it's okay when it's broken on the fucking when you're playing on your own, I guess.
Yeah.
But sorry, IGN gave Gollum a 4 out of 10. That game is
absolutely fair.
Just below average?
I know, but they don't count. They count 7 as their average.
Do they? No, they saw that as good. And 5 is like it's like
I don't know. 5 should be, but like you know how like people don't use the 10 out of 10 scale properly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I'm like, should that game not be like a 2? If the developer fucking apologizes, I'm like, no, this game isn't this isn't a good game. This is like a 2. Oh, because GameSpot give it a 2. That's why I'm like, I think 2, 3 is probably where it should be.
Yeah.
Because the developers even come out and be like, no, it's bad. Which you should not do is from a PR point of view, not from a consumer mindset point of view. Anyway, another point.
Yeah.
But yeah, All Stars got good scores. I know what you're talking about.
I remember
maybe it shouldn't be on your fucking list.
Me and Lewis used to do this thing. We called it Gun Game because
Gun Game in
and Black Ops 1. Yeah, so that had just recently came out. So the way that the roster worked, there was Superstars and Legends. So me and Lewis would pick Superstars and Legends, and we'd start off. Yeah. And if we won as a character, we got to go to the next character, and we had to be the first person to make it through either all of our superstars and all of our legends. Okay. So like, after a little while, like when you started losing, you started going on a losing streak because
you guys get worse?
Because you're staying the same guy.
Oh,
so you start to understand
if you win,
exactly,
you start, right.
Yeah, if you win, you change character.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So you've got to keep going and going and going. And we spent hours playing that. Like, absolute hours. And I just absolutely like adored it from that point of view. But I remember seeing it on a worst list, and I'm like, why? I don't understand.
Maybe it's not. Yeah. But WWE games are not great.
Hey,
so that might
not
be
the best, but they're endlessly entertaining.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depends. I don't know, because you are a fan of wrestling.
That's true.
So that's where I'm well, so what are we doing here?
But you can look back at like Achievement Hunter and stuff like that. They every time the wrestling game came out, they'd always put out like one match,
a video of it, right? Yeah.
But primarily just to show off the like character creator.
Yeah,
they'd just be stupid like
it's fucking wild.
And then they'd come in and just have some fun, and you'd be laughing all the way through, kind of thing. But then again, they can make hilarious.
That's why I'm like, I wonder how many people buy these games. That's a bit of research I don't think I should do at the moment. But how well do they do? Because they keep making them.
Yeah. But no, they've not made a game like that. Well, they did. They tried to make that one, and that was absolutely off. I can't even remember the name of it. But they tried to do something similar. Superstars or something like that.
I like the idea that
this was like bad microtransactions and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I like the idea of that one, that the Battle Royale wrestler that came out, and obviously came out and went away. Probably.
What was that called again?
No, it's not Battle Royale.
No.
That's the name of the genre.
That people loved that for a little while. That was a good streaming game for a little while.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say Brawlhalle, but I keep getting mixed up between Brawlhalle and
Brawlhalle is the game. And I'm also typing in Battle Royale and wrestling, and it's showing me the real Royal Rumble. So I don't know. But that game looked kind of cool.
It was quite fun briefly, but
doing fucking suplexes off of buildings and stuff. That shit's amazing. But wrestling's just a weird spot in terms of video games. This is in a weird place where they could be really fun.
Yeah,
I think that's another issue I have with it. It could be really good. It's just dudes fighting in a ring,
doing
wild stuff. Like that's built for a video game, and you get to pick up weapons and smack them,
yeah,
and jump off cages and throw. Like
you and I played tons of the games.
I played a lot of them growing up. So like it could be.
I think that's how a lot of wrestling fans get into wrestling these days as well, as
games.
The games, yeah.
But I thought there weren't any good games out.
But they love the game. No, but like as kids, like the games are just fun. They've turned it into a bit more simulation, but in the past couple of years they've changed that. I've yet to touch the new ones, so I don't know how much better. Well,
it's hard to make a melee combat game where you can fight each other.
Yeah,
and it feel like challenging and fun, I think. But
which
wrestling's
is a good segue into Urban Reign. Because supposedly that's not very well.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think Urban Reign.
But that's so much fun.
It's a game I bet no one's fucking heard of. It's like it's like a 3. It is a deep cut. It's like a 3D Tekken fighting game. I think it's made by the same developers.
Because that's how they got Law and Paul in.
Of course, yeah. They just were like, well, it's our fucking game. We're putting them in. I got a 3.9 from Amazon UK, a 6.6 from IGN. It's better than Gollum.
Yep.
And an 8 out of 10. So I don't know if it's unpopular or not. It's too old.
Yeah, to get a proper
to get a proper like gauge on if it liked it or not. But like I've never heard anyone else talk about it. I've never seen any videos on it on the internet. Like I just don't. I think it was a very much a 6 out of 10 game that came out in the
yeah.
Like when we remember songs from the 80s or 90s, as if we remember those, and people are like, "Oh, music was so good back then." And I was like, "Well, no, you're only remembering the hits."
Yeah,
I think the PS2 obviously era was exactly the same. Where it's like the PS2 games were so good, but there are games on there that aren't great. They're like normal good.
But that's the thing. That's one thing that you're missing from today's gaming spheres. There's no good middling games.
Today.
Like you're either.
But because they'll be. Well, that's what I'm saying. Those ones are forgotten.
Yeah.
Not obviously not by the people who played them, but they will be forgotten in like the grand scheme of the time. Yeah. Like all songs from the 80s seemed amazing, but there will be some 7 out of 10s that just kind of came, they had the career, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Same with the PS2. There's definitely middling games on there that some people remember. I can't think of a good example that people. I feel like Sly Cooper is one of them. Like people remember Sly Cooper, but whether or not it's held up to the same standard as like fucking
the one that they released on PlayStation 4, War of Monsters or something like that.
What?
I think it's called War of Monsters. Lewis loved it, absolutely adored it.
Yeah, you are monsters in like
you're fighting. Like, it's like a Godzilla kind of thing. I never properly played it, but I remember him going crazy over it, and then they re-released it, and he was like, ah.
Yeah.
And then I never played it.
There are some style of games that are also just gone.
Yeah,
like
Godzilla Monsters Unleashed. I love that game. You and I played that a fair bit.
Oh, maybe that. There's a couple of monster games on the PS2. Yeah. I'm seeming to remember.
Because I didn't have a PS2.
But I mean, there's those kind of games. As I was saying, that's those styles of games. There are some styles of games. Jesus Christ, there are some styles of games that are gone.
Yeah,
like Urban Reigns, and Def Jam Fight for New York.
I mean, they tried it with what was it, Werewolf Blood of the Apocalypse or something like that, and that was just trying to be a middling game.
I don't know what.
It's Werewolf the Apocalypse or something like that. It's in the Vampire Masquerade like story thing and
universe,
yeah. And that came out, and you can clearly see it's just trying to be a decent middling game.
Oh fuck yeah! I think I do remember that game. Yeah.
Things like Dead to Rights Retribution. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was a middling game.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah. I was on that. There are.
Back in the I think 360 had the peak for that. I think 360 had the peak for that kind of thing. I think the PS2 was like there's still a lot of teething problems at that point in time. But then again, I didn't have a PS2, so I'm not too sure. So my peak might be it.
I suppose, yeah.
Might be it.
Well, what I'm talking about. You're like, no, the games of the PS2 were great. I'm like, no, there was tons of shit ones.
Yeah.
Or middling ones.
But the amount of time that we played Rise of the Imperfects, supposedly that's not many people like that.
Yeah, but when you think about the system of like the game, you're like, yeah, it's a kind of bit fucking janky.
Yeah.
Like
there's
Urban
a person
Reign
below this health, just kill them.
Yeah.
This character can't pick up a truck, too bad.
Yeah, there's like a lot. It's not very well balanced.
But I think that was part of the fun as well, like winning as Spider-Man against like Iron Man or Venom or something.
No, it was winning. No, it was winning as Wolverine against anyone that could pick up a truck, because he couldn't swing or fly. He could just run really fast.
Yeah,
and do it really poorly. Like he couldn't like poof and shoot off. But no, I like that game as well. But same with Urban Reign. You could just spam square and to win. But then also when you fight the hardest AI, they will block every third move.
Yeah.
No, it's not like every third move. But there are some like moves you can do that will stop them from countering
like
the
a
move.
quick wee tap and then okay.
Yeah, there's like whatever I did. There's like the down attack which sweeps their foot and puts them on the floor, and then you kick them away and they fly away and then they roll. If you get that kick off, they can't block the second one. So you can do one move, and make sure your third move is the trip, and then you get a fourth move.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like you start figuring out the AI, you stop fighting the fighting.
Yeah,
it's like that kind of thing. But AI is also obviously something that's very hard, and it's very hard to get right.
Yeah, because like back in the day, like any shooter that was, we'll just throw tons more at you. That's the difficulty spike, or we'll give this creature just so much more health, or they'll do more damage to you. There's not real. It's not really adaptive difficulty. Like I think Resi 4 was one of the first ones to do that properly.
Yeah, I think so.
Where like
they scale it or dynamic difficulty.
It has the first set of dynamic difficulty. So like the more you're losing, the easier the enemies will become.
Yeah, then back and
which
forth.
They brought back for Resi 4, which annoyed me at one point because I was in this fight and I kept in the remake and I was in this fight and there's like three or four waves. I kept getting to the fourth wave, dying, and then the last one I was like, I'm doing really good this time, and I beat the first three waves and then it ended and I was like, oh, I was looking forward to fighting the rest of those guys.
You don't get the nice
satisfaction of beating it at the difficulty.
Yeah,
was already set.
That's why I don't like.
But it does really help get you through the game.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, because not everyone wants to just play a really hard game for the sake of playing a really hard game.
I remember when I played, Darksiders 2?
Yeah, I've never played it. I know of it.
I played a wee bit of it, and I was playing it at my friend Lewis's house, and we were fighting. There's this like guy that trains you to do things, and he offers you a fight, and he one taps you every time.
Oh, okay.
So you're supposed to leave, get more powerful, come back. And I was like, no, I'm gonna beat this, and I just kept throwing myself at this brick wall until eventually I got it. I just can't help myself sometimes when it comes to that, though. Like the amount of times that I tried to do
I do that
in Undertale.
I'd never played Undertale.
Oh, the bosses in the Genocide run are amazing. It's a good balance between difficulty and pattern recognition.
Yeah, I've heard. Never played it. It bores me. Yeah. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, and it doesn't. Not that I actually care about how games look good, but then if it doesn't look good, it has to compensate with the kind of gameplay I like, and it's not the kind of gameplay I like. So it's just kind of like a double whammy of like, I don't like this.
Yeah, not my cup of tea.
Yeah, not for me. But yeah, the style of game of beat 'em ups, but not beat 'em ups like Street of Rage or whatever.
Yeah, no, I struggle with classic beat 'em ups.
TMNT on the PS2.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, Urban Reign. Like DMC, that's like a styly fucking spectacle thing. It's like this kind of like just run around levels and whack people is kind of gone. Like we don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
But I love those type of games. That's what's the problem with it.
I think that's
they've been replaced, I guess, with like Shadow
Dark Souls
War
and stuff like that.
I was thinking Shadow War and Batman.
Yeah,
they kind of replaced them with that. Where you walk around and you fight people.
Yeah, like where it's two different things. I think Dark Souls has that as well. I think more Sekiro and Wolong and stuff like that. Yeah,
a little bit.
A bit more.
I suppose, a little bit. If that'd be the modern equivalent.
Yeah. Although what was that one that we saw, the PlayStation 4 thing?
Can't remember. It looked cool.
It looked really cool.
I can't remember. China.
Like 30 Days to Die or something like that. Blah, blah,
blah.
Oh,
I think it was. No, it wasn't 30 Days to Die. No. That sounds like a movie or 7 Days to Die.
But yeah, no, that looks really interesting. And if that gameplay is actually
good
and
feels like a game,
I will be all in.
My last list number thing is Assassin's Creed. The Origins.
Origins, okay.
I think that
was more divisive than
3. I really played the shit out of 3 when I was younger. No one liked 3, and it's pretty bad. But when I was younger, I really liked it. I really liked the Native American thing when I was younger. I was like, I was using bows and walking around, and it's gotten cool.
Get to climb through the trees.
Got to go through buildings. I was like, this is cool. Obviously, the game is not good. Stories,
I think
lackluster.
Because it was oversaturated at that point in time.
What was?
Like the Assassin's Creed.
It's no more oversaturated than it is today, no?
So I'd say because they're doing the go back to
but before, but I'm thinking like...
Oh, no, not more anymore than it was today, you're right. But it's more like that style was overdone because they did Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 2.5, Assassin's Creed 2.75.
But this was the first like real change. Where it was like free flowy running and then the combat was different. It was...
Yeah, there was a wee bit of a difference, but I would say not enough. Like in Black Flag, the difference was more. Yeah, that's what I mean. So Black Flag, it lent into the differences a lot more. Whereas Assassin's Creed 3 was still trying to be Assassin's Creed 2. A little bit. Like they changed enough.
They're just innovating. They were just innovating on the thing. But it was... But I mean, playing 2 to Brotherhood and playing Revelations to 3... Yeah. Feels like a big difference. Yeah. Maybe not upgrade, difference. Yeah. Like your movement's a bit funny, a bit weird. The combat, the icons are different, the movement's different, the square, everything's different, but it is sort of, as you say, the same as Brotherhood because it is just parry, kill. Yeah. And
it had some
like instead of pressing R1 in square, you press circle and then square. Like, you know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. Like it's not that different, but it kind of looks visually different. So I kind of agree with you. It's not that different. It's kind of tried to make it feel like it was. And then same with Black Flag. That was just good. Yeah. That one. But I liked 3. I played a lot of 3. Yeah. When I was younger. I just liked it.
The 3 has like the beta for
it has a really good tune in it. I don't know if I can play any of it because
probably not. We'd get in trouble for that one.
But it's a game soundtrack, so sometimes they're but it's also Ubisoft. So people use game soundtracks in their videos. Like usually, like some game soundtracks are just like okay, because you can stream games, so they allow you to use their soundtrack. So some games are thingy.
But I think
it's the violin one. It's called Assassin's Creed 3 Fight Club song, and it's like I've played it in our D&D games. I've used it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really good for chasing.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed, and then Origins, I think we said was divisive.
Yeah,
like it wasn't least
because it created 2 different styles of Assassin's Creed fans. Like the people that preferred the old school, and then the people that like the new style. I feel it's a bit too MMO and RPG-ish for my liking.
It's very much more an RPG than MMOE.
Yeah, SSO, solely single player, but still online.
Yeah, because Origins was when they've fucking lent into that feeling of 5 different fucking helmets that I got from one mission. Yay. Plus the swords, plus the thing. I don't
want to go back to this area to find this stuff because all the enemies die in one hit, but I don't want to go too further in because then...
Nobody dies. I have to stab them 1,000 times to kill them. And the combat's like not that good. Still? Like it's still not that good. They're still jank.
They tried to ape the Dark Souls kind of style combat with it.
Yeah, they tried to bring in like actual skill-based combat. And it didn't work.
No.
Well, people like the game, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah,
it's got a really good sense of exploration still, but Assassin's Creed's never had a problem with that.
No.
No, they have had a problem with sense of exploration. They've never had a sense of like, oh, this is a pretty world. Like Unity's Paris was beautiful. Gorgeous, Florence and Venice were
Syndicate's
nice.
London was
stunning. They've got a really good that guy team.
Yeah.
Environment design. Their team is good, but their voice acting and their facial animation is always paled in comparison to other people. But obviously, there's a lot more game, but still. And their combats never felt. I don't think it's ever felt good challenging. It's felt like
I looked at Valhalla and I liked the idea of it a wee bit. I never played it, so I don't know whether or not.
I think they just did something wrong with Valhalla. I think they should have. The beginning of that game is fucking cool. You start and you're being sold into slavery, and then you're wearing like a thrall garb, basically. I think that's what it's called. And then, so it's like grey with a rope tied around you as a belt. Yeah. And then trousers.
Knapsack.
Yeah. And then he frees himself by like killing them. And then you're hurt, and then you run, and it's cold, so he's like shivery and shit. And he's like, go pick up some food, and you pick up food, you heal yourself, and you make your way somewhere. You find a sword and an axe and a shield, because fucking duh. Pick that up and you're like, oh, okay, cool. You gotta go save your crew or whatever. And you're like, this is cool. I'm in the forest. It's nighttime. Vikings. Aesthetic can carry a game. Yeah. For a bit. So I was going through and you're killing people. The combat isn't great, but it feels better than the other games. In terms of like mouthfeel. Yeah. Like if you know what I mean? Like it feels good. Like it's very chop. And you're like, that's kind of shit. But if you kill someone with a light attack, it'll kind of play a together animation. Does that make sense? What would that be called? I was saying, I don't know what it's called. It's 3D. Yeah, do that. It's 3D something. It's like animation lock or something like that. Like the combat, and it's like the difference between Dark Souls when you hit them or when they're hitting you. Animation lock or something. So when in Assassin's Creed 1, when you did a hit or something, the character has to animate with them. Yeah. So it feels like you're locked into what you're doing. Whereas other games don't do that. Yeah. But
which gives it a bit more of a cinematic kind of feel, whereas
but you can lose the control. The control you have. So Valhalla did that, where the combat was free flowing, everyone moved, but when the final kill did, you locked into a killing animation. Okay. It was very small. He just locks the axe in and then rips it out and throws it to the side. Just felt cool. Just felt cool. Yeah. And then you had some finishers, which were they're a bit too fast animation wise, but some of them were cool. But anyway, I really wanted that game to be good. Yeah, I remember you. I was like, I fucking love a good Viking story, love a good Viking tale. I just wanted everything to be good, but it wasn't. Yeah. I think it was pretty fucking trash. Like, but where I thought it could have been good was the beginning of the game. You're climbing up, you're getting axes, you're finding one of your friends, and he's like, here's an axe, here's a shield. You fight people, the combat's pretty bloody. Then you sneak into the camp, you kill some guards, and then you drop in to free your crew, and then there's a dude there, don't know his name, you fight him, and I'm like, this is cool. Then you free your crew, get all of your armor, like just all of it, like you're fully good, that's your armor, and then you go on a fully manned ship, and I was like, I would have preferred this would be the goal. Yeah. Like the game is you are a disgraced Viking or a lost your crew Viking.
Trying to get build back up.
And you've got to build back up. I think that would have been better. But then they went for like a lot more political big. Well, they wanted you to get to England. Yeah. Because that's a very, I don't know if they wanted, because it's a very recognizable, like Vikings probably played a part where it's like everyone knows that the sacking of Linda's farm, like the first Vikings to do it. And then so you're going to London, no, you're going to England after Ragnar Lothbrok and all that crap have already gone over and settled. So you're going over to settle and join in. So they're getting very political, where you gotta go hang out with the different brothers, and it just becomes like too wide in scope. And I think it would have been much better to like close it down. Yeah. But obviously it's an Assassin's Creed game. Ooh.
Nice catch.
Thanks. But that's what I'm getting at, where I'm like, they're fucking up some stuff. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, we should have a good Viking game. And then the intro is like, yo, this is a good Viking game. Yeah. And then they're like, but it's Assassin's Creed game as well. So we have to get into the political stuff, and we have to have assassins. So we should probably go to England where things are bigger. And
things get done.
And oh, no. That's what the Vikings did at this time. Yeah. If you want the Vikings, a lot of it is to do with sacking things. So I was like, you should have just called this game Valhalla. And not Assassin's Creed. Just called it Valhalla, and obviously I think it's a personal choice not having a crew and building up a crew to a point. But I liked running around Norway or Iceland or wherever you were, talking to other Viking people, getting into these side quests, finding caves, climbing mountains, going to talk to the crazy witch at the top of, like, all this shit was cool, and aesthetic can really carry a game. But then it started to be like, this is not a good game. This has to be really, like, it's poorly designed. So that's what I thought they should do. Yeah. But I don't know.
Just never did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was craving a Viking game.
We don't really have any really good ones.
No. We're craving. There's lots of mods for Mount and Blade. And there is Sturgians in Bannerlord, which are basically Slavs, but they have shields, and you can create shield walls, and you have circle shield walls, and you're like, this is Viking. This is Viking. It's the closest I can get. And there is a mod for Mount and Blade Warband where you are an actual Viking. But yeah, we don't have great Viking games. So or none that I know of.
So it was a tease to not be what you wanted it to be.
Yeah, I was like, I want it to be, and it's close fit. So I'm playing it because I want to get the feeling of being a Viking. But then there's this other shit that I don't like, which is the Assassin's Creed part. Which is a shame, because I love Assassin's Creed as a concept. Not the day travel, not the time travel, which isn't time travel, it's whatever it is. Not anonymous. That's a fucking hacker group or something.
Briefly going back to current favourite games.
Sorry,
I realise I've got to mention, I'd be remiss not to mention, but Zelda.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
I know I'm not putting enough time into it yet. Yeah, I'm not putting nearly enough time into it, but like stepping into it, it's just such a wonderful world.
Oh, it's like you've not played
beautiful. I've not played nearly enough of it to put it into that category, but it's more like an honourable mention. Yeah. Because
why are you not playing it though?
I just keep I've been working on the PC stuff. I've been doing other things outside of playing games, which isn't like me. So I've not sat down to play it for a little while. I think if I start streaming soon, I think that might be one of the first games that I
go with.
Yeah, just to like pick up to get used to how stream setup works and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah,
but
also a good game.
Yeah,
because it's on my list.
Yeah,
which I might pick up now because I'm looking for something. So
you're looking for something, you might as well.
I might as well give it a bash. But I still really want to play something with. That's why I'm like, I want to play something with like normal swords and shields. That's kind of my vibe. Yeah. And also, I'm feeling some space.
Feeling some space.
Yeah.
Did you try that one? I can't remember the name of it, but it was like Subnautica in space.
Oh, what's it called? Yes, I did. It was funny. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got a bit. It was much more linear than Subnautica, so it was a bit like. Yeah, you go to a new section, and then that would be it. You can't go.
Yeah.
And you can't go back either to your old settlement that you made or something like that. But the idea was really cool. And I never got to the point where I got a spaceship. I should go try it again, but what the fuck was it called?
I can't remember for the life of me.
There was a chicken in it though. The humor was really good.
Nice. Okay.
The humor was really good.
Now that I've got a PC, I might need to check it out.
Yeah, no, its humor was great, but I don't know where Steam is on my phone. I can't remember what it's called, but I stopped playing it. But I was enjoying it, so it was one of those times you just stop playing a game and you're like,
why didn't I?
Why did I do that? Library. I do want to know what it's called. Space something. Space chicken.
Oh,
Breath Edge.
Space nothing.
Space nothing. Survival in outer space.
Yeah.
So this is in the subtitle. But yeah, I played like 7 hours of it, so I gave it a good whack. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I love the idea of Subnautica, but I've got a bit of a fear of like underwater
deep water
and stuff. So like as soon as I go too far, I'm like,
it's fucking scary. It's real scary. It's a really cool. That game's just good.
Ooh.
It's a good exercise in like picking your world goes a long way. Like, just is it supposed to be scary? There's a difference between like just like terror and like horror and all that crap, right? It's like fear.
Yeah.
Like if I'm underwater, really deep, I can't see that far.
Yeah.
Like
and there are big
and
scary
there are
things
here, and they could get me at any moment. Mostly, I had a submarine. Felt a lot safer in the submarine, but then. You had to leave the submarine.
Yeah, you have to.
You had to leave to go get something.
It's like when you get like the prawn suit and then the teleporter things pull you out of it and you're like, ah!
Yeah, shit. I got back in the suit so fast. There's all this shit getting back in.
But anyway, I think that's all we have time for today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'd be happy if you wanted to join us again. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of thing. If you have an idea of what your favorite current game and your favorite game that is least popular, please leave a comment. We'd love to read them and hear more about them. And if you have any ideas for future topics of conversation, we'd love that too. Thank you very much for joining us and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Go away.